Hello everyone, the first tip is to bring portal and workbench material with you wherever you are exploring or farming. And the purpose for doing this is this will allow you to create a portal wherever you are and then instantly come back to your home base and drop off all of the items in your inventory. So say you're not farming for anything in particular, you just want to gather a ton of materials, but you don't happen to have enough room in your inventory to gather all of the different things that you're trying to collect. You don't need to worry about it because you can just go through a portal back to your home base, instantly deposit all of the stuff in different chests, and then come back through the portal at your home base back to the location out in the wilderness where you set up your portal. And to make sure that you do this properly, make sure you have a brand new portal set up at your home base with a unique passcode before you actually venture out into the wilderness. And then once you're out in the wilderness, you can build a workbench somewhere on a flat surface. You don't actually need cover for that workbench. And then with the workbench built, you can build a portal right next to that workbench. And then that new portal needs to have the same passcode as the portal that you set up back at your home base. And after you have dropped off all of the items that are in your inventory, all you have to do is just destroy your portal and destroy the workbench, put the materials back in your inventory, and then keep on traveling and looting. If you happen to have any materials that can't go through portals, all you have to do is toss that on the ground and it'll still be sitting there when you get back to the portal. And this strategy also works really well if you're carrying a cart around with you too, because then you'll just be loading up the cart with the items that can't go through the portal, and all of the items that can go through the portal, you just keep on emptying out of your inventory, so you end up carrying less items in your cart, which will end up saving you more time because you'll be moving faster. Tip number 2, when you're pulling around the cart, you're going to want to put around a maximum of 1,000 weight in the cart. Once you reach around 1,000 weight threshold, then above that, when you're pulling the cart, you're going to start moving really slow, especially going up hills. Once you've reached those thresholds, then go back to wherever your outpost is or go back to wherever your home base is, drop off those materials, and then go back out and farm again. Even though you have to travel the distance back to wherever you want to put those materials, you're going to move rather quickly if you stop at that 1,000 threshold. Tip number 3 is to feed whatever type of animal that you are taming a stack of edible food versus just feeding that animal one piece of food at a time. Even though it looks like there's only one piece of food laying on the ground, if you have 50 pieces of food in that stack, the animals will register all 50 of those pieces and they'll only eat one piece at a time. Now keep in mind the animals will only eat food when you're in the general area. As soon as you go to, let's say, a different island for farming, the animals don't eat food. It's like the game doesn't allow them to keep going about their normal operations. But as soon as you come back into range of those animals, they'll instantly go back for that food once again. And that's why it's so beneficial to just leave a stack of food. So if you're constantly coming back and forth to your base with that portal trick I was talking about, every single time you come back through that portal, that'll instantly cue those animals to go eat another piece of food. So you're literally, as you're farming for other loot, your animals are getting more tame as well. And this makes it so you don't have to sit in front of your animals for an hour and just watch them get more tame. Tip number 4 is to mine the base of the massive stone pillars that you can find in plains biomes. If you literally mine out all of the pieces of stone that are connecting the giant pillar to the ground, once you completely remove all of those pieces, the entire stone pillar will bust. And all of the stone from the pillar, literally enough to fill an entire chest, will drop down onto the ground. And then you can just loot all of the stone at once. It'll save you so much time. And sometimes you have to break a couple extra pieces in order to get this work. So for example, you might have the stone pillar completely floating and it still hasn't broken. So in those cases, you might have to crack a couple more pieces off that pillar until you find the imaginary piece that is still technically connecting it to the ground. But after a couple more rock breaks, then the pillar will explode and all of the materials will fall to the ground. Tip number 5 is to build stairs in a spiral shape around guck trees that you can find in swamp biomes. Objects in the environment can literally act as stability support for items that you build. So if you're trying to get those hard to reach guck spots on trees, all you have to do is build a set of wood stairs on the ground parallel to the tree. Make sure that the side of the stairs is touching the tree, and then build another set of stairs at the top of those stairs, and once again angle them to be parallel to the tree, and keep on doing this so that you build a spiral staircase around the tree. And then once you reach one of those guck spots, pull out your pickaxe and start picking away until you get the guck spot to explode. If you happen to have a guck spot on the opposite side of the tree where you're building the stairs, all you have to do is put a wood floor tile on the top of the stairs. In addition to touching the top of the stairs, make sure to also have that wood floor tile touching the side of the tree that you're climbing. Once you place that first wood floor tile, keep on placing wood floor tiles halfway out one at a time until you spiral all the way around the other side of the tree to wherever that guck spot is. Take out the guck spots, and then from that wood floor tile, you can once again start stacking the stairs and keep on doing that spiral technique that I talked about until you get to the top of the tree and clear all of the guck. Once you're done, you can just start destroying the stairs once again until you get all the way back down. And once you get all the way back down to the ground, you'll be able to collect all of the guck that has dropped. Tip 6 is to plant a farm of trees somewhere close to your base, and then plant these trees very close together in rows. Once all of the trees have grown, you're going to take out your axe and start hacking away at the trees on the very edge, and make sure to be facing the direction of where all of the trees are going. That way the trees will start falling in the direction that you are facing, which would be away from you and towards the rows of trees that you have created. And since the trees do fall damage, they can also damage other trees. So if you hack down one tree and that does some fall damage, and then you hack down the tree right next to it and that does some more fall damage, and then you hack down a couple more trees, all of a sudden all of the trees that are holding up all of these logs that you have destroyed are going to start to get very weak. And eventually, once enough of them get weak, they're all going to start to bust. And once they start busting, then the trees behind them are going to bust, and the trees behind those are going to bust, and you start to get this domino effect. So you'll end up doing a ton of less work, and most of the trees will take themselves down instead of you having to take them down. And make sure to bring a cart with you to wherever your tree forest is, cut all of the trees down completely, and then gather the materials, load them up into your cart, bring it back to your base, and away you go. Tip 7 is once you are strong enough to fight in the plains biome, that would be a great time to build a new base on that plains biome. And if you're going to be building on the plains biome, try to find an island where you have plains, black forest, mountains, and swamp all on the same island. And the reason you want to find an island with all of the biomes is because ore cannot go through the portal. So what you're going to do at this new base is create a new forge, and then you're going to create all of the forge upgrades, and you'll be able to find all of the materials for the forge upgrades at those 4 biomes. Once you have the forge and all of the upgrades completed, then you'll be able to start creating that high-end gear or get those upgrades that you've been wanting to get, all while doing this at your new base instead of carrying all of that material all the way back home. And once you have transformed that ore into an item, then you can take that item through the portal to wherever you want to go. And that's all I got for you in this video. If you happen to find anything in this video to be helpful or enjoyable, please consider leaving a like, subscribing for more. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.